Hey, this is Schizophrenia Sucks with Nick, and this is going to be about, and I guess not the guilt of, but just in general, being a burden on society. And I'm going to try to keep this relatively controversy free, but so if you have schizophrenia and maybe you're disabled, like it just depends. You could be a different disability, like I had major depressive disorder for about a decade, and that was so debilitating. Actually, believe it or not, it was worse. When I had major depressive disorder, right? I was actually more disabled than when I have schizophrenia now, but not when I had psychosis. So like psychotic schizophrenia is more debilitating than my major depressive disorder, but my major depressive disorder is a lot more disabling than my schizophrenia has been, especially since finding keto. And I just ate a giant pizza and had ice cream, so I didn't do keto. I've been doing bad on my diet. Right, we all slip up from time to time. I might need a diet break, but that's another topic. So this is about being a burden on society, and I finally got my SSI back. Getting it back in like a week or two. So, I mean, there shouldn't be guilt. It's not our fault. I mean, most of us, it's not our fault. I mean, I guess if you did drugs and then you got schizophrenia, then it would be your fault. So, I mean, I was in a lot of and then they do have like some help for drug addicts. I mean, I'm not saying it's a lot, but like I was just in this program that I call a drug program, and they help drug addicts. But like if you're disabled, right, you didn't do anything wrong. It's not like a lifestyle choice, right? You just something was wrong with you. I don't think you should feel guilt. Like it wasn't your fault. It's not like a moral failure, being disabled or being schizophrenic. And I guess being schizophrenic isn't synonymous with not working, but I believe I saw that it was like 80% of schizophrenics don't work. And it's usually the negative symptoms I think that are causing it. I'm not sure. I have to do a little bit more research on that. I haven't done as much research into schizophrenia as I probably should. I probably should go on a deep dive and investigate and consume everything I can find, but I don't. I have felt that other things are more important, like religion and God. So I haven't done that yet. But yeah, you shouldn't feel guilt. I mean, I come from like like I was kind of instructed, and I kind of believe like you should work, and like work isn't the most important thing. God would be, but working is pretty important, and we shouldn't be a drain on society, right? Like I was gonna say something about like if you're a drug addict, like pretty much unless you were like a child or something, or born like a crack addict or something, because there's like crack babies and stuff, which is horrible. But if you weren't like like everybody knows drugs are addictive and bad, and then if you still take them, it's like you're choosing to be destructive in society, right? Like you're the one who made the decision. Like I didn't choose psychosis, right? Like um, I may have cost um, more than I put in, but it's not my fault, right? Like it could happen to anybody. It's not a moral failure. It wasn't a choice. There was no free will involved, right? Like I never made the decision to be like this. So there shouldn't be any guilt or like emasculation either. So um, there's sort of like this thing where most men's identity is tied to their work. So, but it shouldn't be emasculating either. And I don't feel that way, but it might feel that way to other people. I've mentioned this a few times. So, like, we're not here to work. That's not our function. And we can provide value in other ways. Like, working is just something that we have to do. Like, even with AI and stuff, like, their jobs are going to be automated. So, is that really, like, then what's the point of being human? Like, what are you going to do? Like, I don't know, make up a job just to work? Right? Like work for no reason when you don't have to? Or are you going to do something else? So I don't really feel that not working um, is like that. It doesn't matter that much. Like it's not like a core part of being a human being is working, right? I really don't think that. Um, yeah, but it also is annoying and not a great feeling that you're a burden, right? You're taking more than you're putting out, right? And so I try to do as much as I can to offset that. So that's part of this is the YouTube videos, which is partially looking for work. It's like, will this turn into work? It's also like charity. So hopefully my videos can help people, right? And I try to help out at my church and do as much as I can. And I try to do things outside of like work that would be positive for society. Like I'm trying to organize this gym stuff with my friends. Um, and yeah, the church stuff is the main thing I spend a lot of time doing, which is good, right? Like that's the real point of why we're here. So like from the Christian worldview, like God isn't really concerned with like the GDP and how many hours you work. He's concerned with your soul and are you sinning? Are you praying? Are you reading the Word of God? Are you uh, doing God's will? Like stuff like that. Like, are you going to church and getting involved with Christian fellowship? Stuff like that. So I'm doing those things. Like, that's important. And I would obviously like to get married, and I'm working on that. So that's like a separate topic. Um, but that seems to be pretty core, like relationships. That seems to be like a core part of being human. But working, I feel like it's optional. Um, and a lot of people uh, may not be able to handle not working, but I think I can handle it. I've been handling it pretty well. It's been 16 years, and I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't feel like it's something that's like, I don't know, essential. But I am trying to work. I want to work. That's just part of my personality. So while it's not essential, I would want to do it. So I'm minimally being a burden on society and trying to help. Like I tried to help a disabled friend, like clean their house. So if I have time, energy, ability to do something, I'm doing it to the maximum that I can. And the chronic fatigue limits me from doing a lot, but I do about as much as I can, and I push myself pretty hard, probably too hard. So yeah, I don't have any guilt about like being a burden, but I really don't like taking from the system either. Even though they barely give you anything, like the money for SSI is almost nothing, and it's pretty crazy that they give you less money. Like if you're more disabled, like you were disabled from when you were younger, instead of giving you more money with SSDI, they give you less money with SSI. Like I almost can't believe that's real. It just seems like you're punishing people from being sick from when they were younger, right? Like I went to college, so I wasn't working, so I don't have enough credits, like work credits for SSDI. So they're punishing you for going to school, right? Like that's like an investment in yourself to get a job. Like I had to plan um, to get a 4 year degree and be a cop, right? So that would have been an investment, and you get punished for it. It's pretty dumb, and there's lots of problems with the SSI system or the disability systems. I might get into those. It's probably several different videos, but it's okay if you're a burden, right? Like, not everybody is going to be born a winner, but overall, society is like pushing forward as long as you're not like deliberate. Like, it'd be worse um, since now we have like relatively um, pretty much everywhere we have like socialized medicine, right? So if you're obese, you're a burden on society, right? You're gumming up the healthcare system. You're causing all these obesity related illnesses. So lots of people are burdens on society by doing things that are unhealthy, like smoking or whatever, right? Like God gave you a body, you should take care of it. So a lot of the people are burdens on society, or they're just like toxic or negative, or not negative, but um, like to have a negative effect because of how they live. So we don't want to be like that. Um, but those people aren't judged as well. Like it's like kind of like well, this is gonna get into too much political stuff, but it's like you have like the freedom to do stuff, but then you have to pay for the consequences, right? Like so you can't like do stuff and make other people pay for it. Is sort of the thing. So anyway, a lot of people are burdens on society. Um, and in different ways than disabled people. So, um, I don't know. I don't want to get into too much ranting about like, well, people should work out more and all that stuff, but uh, like obesity related illnesses, right? It's like a huge burden on the taxpayer. So, and there's like people who need the money too. It's not like there's infinite money. So it's sad. Like, it's really hard to get SSI. It was hard for me to get it for like 2 years. So it's like people suffer, and there's real suffering, and there's limited money to go around, and there's people who are like eating like bad food, and then they're just being a burden on the system. So it's good to not be like I know right now technically I'm still fat, but that's because of the psych meds, and I am losing that weight. Right, like I am going to the gym. I'm counteracting it as best I can, and in like 6 months it won't be a problem. So it's not being hypocritical. Anyway, don't feel guilty if you're disabled. Don't feel like you have to work. It's like a struggle that I've been going through that I really feel like I have to work. And I finally got over that maybe a few months ago. Anyway, I think this has gone on for long enough. Like, subscribe, comment, request content, hit the bell, whatever. God bless.